So, Oge, are you ready?
I think I am.
Well, that's fair enough for me. Excellent. Well, this is episode 6 of Lessons with Leaders. My guest today is Oge, the founder of Pollard Consults. She's here today to talk about a topic that is very important, and that is how we future proof our skill set so we're prepared for whatever tomorrow may bring. Oge, welcome.
Thank you, Imo. Thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor to have you. Now, before I jump in, I always ask my guests this question: how did we meet?
I remember we met just before COVID at an international women's conference. You were actually a speaker. You spoke about a lot of things, but one thing I remember you spoke about was how to pay down on your mortgage is very fast. And because we're new in Canada, fairly new, about 2 years in, and we just bought our home about a year before, I was really interested to know how we could quickly pay down on our mortgage. So I remember I met your wife also at that event, and we've kept in
Yes,
touch since after then. Yeah.
that's good. So now let's get into the topic of the day, which is future proofing your skill set. Now, could you just explain what that means before you go in and tell us exactly how to do it?
Okay, I'll try to explain that in my own words. I don't have big grammar for it, but building skills that are relevant in the future. I'll describe it that way. And it's not a done once and for all thing. It's not something you do now and oh, I've future-proofed my career. It's an evolving thing. It means being intelligent to know what's happening around you and to know what the trending skill set, what are the emerging technology, what are the emerging trends, what are businesses looking out for. Today we hear generative AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all of that. And then you need to keep asking yourself, so what should I be learning to remain relevant, right? The skill set that served us yesterday can no longer serve us today. I'm a
Right.
business analyst and I have over 15 years experience. The way I have traditionally done business analysis when I started my career is not the same way I'm doing it today because things are evolving. Technology is evolving. The way we implement technology solution is changing. Customers are changing, customers' preferences are changing, their tastes, what they want. And you can't just remain where you are. You just need to keep learning, keep growing. So there's this concept called skill stacking, right? You get one skill, you stack up another skill on it, you just keep evolving, keep getting better.
Yeah, can you give an example of skill stacking? And then after that, could you also tell where people go to find out what is trending so they get the right skills?
Okay, an example of skill stacking, I would say for say a business owner. Maybe I'll use myself as an example. When I started my entrepreneur journey, I realized that okay, all the things you know about being an employee, business analysis, working from an employee point of view was not enough. Because now I have to run my business, I knew I had to go understand sales and marketing. So I had to go stack up on that skill.
Right.
I knew I needed to learn how to do copywriting, how to be able to convince people, persuade people to give me their money in exchange for what I was selling. So I had to stack up on those skill set. That's a very practical example I can give you. Now, where people can go to find out about what is trending, it now depends on what you are doing. For example, if you are an employee, LinkedIn would be the best place to know what is happening. If you have professional association, for example, I'm a business analyst and we have International Institute for Business Analysis Professional. The project managers have PMI. Belonging to associations like these are good ways to keep abreast with whatever is happening in the industry. PMI has been doing a whole lot, the Project Management Institute doing a whole lot about educating and equipping their members about um, trends in generative AI, how to manage AI project as project managers, because the way you would project manage it's a normal traditional software development project is different from artificial intelligence or machine learning project. So if you remain on your own, or you are not associating with people or learning, putting yourself out there to know what's going on, you wouldn't know, and you wouldn't know where to the area, because the truth is there's so much information out there. There's
True.
limited time to learn. So you need to be very strategic to know this is where it seems the industry is going. This is what I think I should be learning now and focusing on it.
Wow. Now, do you find, like in your case, that you have to keep learning something new every year, or what's the kind of frequency for you anyway in your scenario?
For me, I would say, I think learning is just a continuous exercise. You don't ever stop learning. The day you stop learning, you start dying, right?
Right.
But is it really new? Sometimes, you know what I've realized, Imo, is this. There's really nothing new under the sun.
True.
Things know how to evolve from first principle. For example, I'm a business analyst. I've supported organizations to implement technology solution by defining needs, understanding the business needs, writing requirements that would help deliver those solutions. As a business analyst on an AI project or machine learning project, I've discovered it's still the same principle. However, the solution we are dealing with now is different. So I need to really learn and understand this solution so that I'm able to support the businesses to use it even better. So you just need to keep, again, is skill stacking. That foundational business analysis or project management knowledge, experience is still very valid. But now you are dealing with a new kind of solution, a new kind of environment, a new kind of context, which you then need to understand to, continue to provide. Like you just have to flip it a bit, but still do what you know how to do. So, but I'm always constantly learning. Even what I used to do one way before, I'm looking for how to do them more efficiently, more effectively, right?
That makes sense. Now, I know that,
Yeah.
again, just talking about AI, I found that even just understanding the technology, understanding how to use it personally to do things so that it's not the first time you see it when you're working with a client per se, right? And so I find that, again, for me in my business is trying to learn to use the new things that come in so that I have some personal experience before I am dealing with a client. Do you find that in your practice too?
Yes, and I'll give you a very classical example is so I was recently on a project where I had to help a client to design a chatbot.
Okay.
And what I tried to do in prepare, because the truth is, as a BA, you'd always learn. You'll be thrown on projects you've never done before, you've not had experience before. One skill a good BA should have is to be able to learn very quickly. I had to go learn how to, do chatbot, this conversation design and all of that. And luckily, I have a business. And thanks to how technology has become very accessible now, I was able to begin to design a chatbot for my own business that can respond to some of my customers, like, coming up with frequently asked questions, training the bot to just respond to any question that contains this kind of words.
Wow.
So which is similar to you doing something that like that for your own business to learn, make mistakes before you then go do it for a client. So I can relate with that totally.
That's good. Interesting. So let's take somebody who's just moved here comes to you and says, well, look, I've been doing this, whatever it is, in my former country for so many years, and I now want to get in front of whatever wave of technology or whatever trend is in the marketplace now. How do you advise them to start?
Um, so that's let me understand the question very well. A new immigrant comes into Canada and they want to start doing business, not really getting a job to continue what they were doing back home. Is that what you mean?
let's make it two parts. So we'll do the one for someone who wants to start a business here, and they tell you, well, I did some business back home. Um, what kind of advice do you give them to, I guess in this case, start stacking up the skills that they need? Like, how do you give them guidance? And then we'll talk about for a regular employee who's going to get a job, somewhere else. Um, so two questions, I
So,
guess.
yeah. Okay, let's start with the business owner. I would I love business analysis because it's very, very practical. So you have your idea, it has worked back home. But first, you are in a new environment. You need to understand the environment. You need to understand the context. I wouldn't recommend you quickly jump in and start doing your business. You have your idea, it's good. Journal every day when new idea comes, keep journaling. Build relationship. Get into the community, try to know people, make friends, and try to understand your environment, understand the new context, because it's very different from where you are coming, right? So build relationships within the community, join communities, show up at events that is relevant to whatever you're trying to do, and keep learning. There are lots of government programs you could leverage on that are free trainings. And in those places, those are where you really make connections, like get to know people. So first of all, learn, study, invest in learning, building relationship. Of course, keep dreaming and look for opportunities to start out. And then start small, test, learn, adapt, and continue to build.
So why does that sound like it has an agile flavor to it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like thank God for agile. Thank God for agile, really. It allows you to fail fast. Like you have
Yes,
an idea and you are struggling in your head. Will it work? Will it not work? Just test it.
right.
Test it. If it doesn't work, you know it won't work. Then you know you're not going to repeat it again. But you've tested it. And it
And
might
that,
work out.
oh, true, because I think sometimes you do that, you test, it doesn't work the way you think, and then you're able to tweak some things, and in the end, it might work out, right? That's good.
Sure.
So that's for the business person. Now, for the person who just wants to come here and they're not entrepreneurial and they just want a job, what do you tell them in relation to skill stacking?
Again, build relationships because what most immigrants don't know about job search is that there's this hidden job market. Not every job you would find on job boards. There are lots of people that could meet you and they know somebody that knows somebody that is looking for something that aligns with your skill set. Go out, again, learn your community, understand, build relationships. Don't be afraid to volunteer. Look out for volunteer opportunities. Like invest in building your relationships. It's very, very important. There are lots of programs. I know in Nova Scotia there's Job Junction. You have ISANS. They have lots of programs that can help immigrants, get into the workplace very quickly. Of course, keep applying. Then also do a scan of what are my skill set. Like you have to reevaluate, reassess your skill set. What skills do I have? Is it in demand? What skill set are in demand within Nova Scotia, within Canada? Not just don't even limit yourself to Nova Scotia.
Right.
Should I consider changing, pivoting, transitioning to another career? Maybe that is even more valuable. That will give me more value for my time. So you need to do those assessments and talk with people. Again, I'm always very careful when I say talk with people, not your typical yeah, mingle with people in your community, but try to also get objective professional advice. Like I mentioned, Job Junction, ISANS, and of course, people around you. And be careful about people telling you that things will not work or it doesn't work, it works a certain way. Always have your own mind, think through information you are given and make your decision. But be open to take risk. Don't be fixated. Have that growth mindset. It does help to move one forward very quickly.
That's true. I always say yes, exactly what you said, that you have to make sure the person you're taking advice from or you're listening to is somebody who has either walked in those shoes or really understands those shoes. because sometimes people say things just based on their understanding. They don't mean any harm, but they don't know. And if you take what
Exactly.
they're, you could come in and say, well, oh, this person's been here longer than me, so they know. But you really have to check to make sure this person is actually in a position to give you that kind of advice. You know, the same way how you wouldn't ask a farmer to fix your car, right? I mean, I know I do this in my business. I only teach the things that I have done, and I think that's the same thing you do. So I wouldn't go and read about something in a book and then go, "Ooh, I'm going to do a course on this. I'm going to teach that." It has to be something that I have done, because that way I'm speaking from experience, and because I've gone through that, I could see some of the the pain points, the obstacles, and it's easier for people to relate to me because I went through it. Um,
True.
and I know you do the same thing too, because I've seen all the. You have 2 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably more than two, because I looked and I go, oh my goodness, she has a lot of degrees. That's good. Yeah. So I think that's one big thing, because a lot of times people would watch something or hear something and then give advice in that. I would always go and pick somebody else who's walked the walk, because usually the
Yeah.
advice is more grounded and more factual, more realistic too.
True.
Yeah. Right. So, okay, what other questions can we ask ourselves to make sure that we are future proofing our skill set?
Okay. I would do an external scan. Please, apologies for my business analysis terminology.
That's okay. Nothing to apologize
I
for.
would do I would do an external scan. What are the trending jobs out there? What are the emerging technologies? Because really, there's nothing, everything revolves around technology. Everything is practically digitized in today's world.
Right.
True. And I would also now do an internal scan. What are my skill set? What kind of, that's if I want to remain employed, right? What skill set do I possess? How is this job an endangered species? Would AI take over my job anytime soon?
Right.
Right? Those are the kind of questions you should be asking, because the truth is, right now we know generative AI can do so much. We still need there's this concept of human in the loop, because artificial intelligence can give you output, but you need somebody to verify to be sure it's correct,
Right.
right? But we don't know what tomorrow may bring. Maybe tomorrow we don't even need that human in the loop. Maybe, just maybe. So
Right.
how do you continue to stay ahead and remain relevant? So those are the kind of questions you should be asking, associating with people that know, people that have walked the talk, right? Professionals in your field, or even areas. You might not even be a BA, you might not even be a project manager, but it doesn't hurt attending some of their programs. Some of them are free, virtual, free. You can just connect from the comfort of your home to learn.
Okay.
So, and this applies to any career. I'm not just saying it because I'm a business analyst and project manager. It applies to, I want to know what the cybersecurity people are doing. What are they talking about? What keeps them awake at night, right?
Right.
What any profession at all.
Yeah. Funny enough, I have a cybersecurity guy coming on in March, so he's going to have to answer those questions. Now, okay, what is your take on people jumping into, or I'll use your terminology, stacking up with public speaking?
Hmm. I think public speaking is a very important skill set. I'm lucky, maybe I'm lucky because of my training or the kind of career career path I've followed.
Yeah, we'll
So
say that.
it's very important. I've been lucky to have been trained in the course of my career, because I have to make presentations to different groups of audience, from low-level employee to executive team. You might know so much, you might have so much knowledge. If you're not able to communicate what you know or address people effectively, then you won't really, people will know your value, people will know what you carry. So public speaking is very important. It has really helped double, triple my value, my worth,
Right.
right? I know a whole lot and I have the confidence to express what I know. I'm able to mount global platforms to share my thoughts. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without those skills.
Right. So I'm making a note here. Public speaking as much as possible. I know some people are, shy and all, but again, I used to be very shy. And at some point in time, you just figure out, what do you want? Do you want to be shy and in the corner? Or do you want to try and speak up and then maybe, as you said, let the world know your worth and then some, right?
I'm a very shy person and I'm still shy. But at some point, I realized my world needed me. I had a message to share, and keeping quiet would be denying a whole lot of people. There are people tied to my destiny, which meant I had to shine my light. I had to speak up to help them out.
Right. That makes sense. So as we wrap up here, this is where you could tell us a little bit about your company, what you do, and how people can reach you if they have any questions. And again, in the end, you could always give me your links so I could put them in the description so people can get a hold of you. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ibo, and thanks for this platform. I'm the CEO and founder of Pollard Consult. We provide consulting services, training services to individual and corporate clients. For individuals, I've helped a whole lot of people that are looking at stacking, skill stacking, looking at pivoting to start careers, non-technical careers in tech, like business analysis. So I have a team and we work together to help these individuals. We have programs, we have curriculum, well-rounded curriculum that goes even beyond the technicals. We also help them with their professional branding, because now you want to be, you used to be a customer service officer, now you want to be addressed as a business analyst. So apart from helping you identify your transferable skills from your prior experiences, which are very relevant to this new role,
Right.
we also, provide you with the technical training and support, help you through interview preparation, mock interviews, your resume, your LinkedIn profile branding, and all of that. And then
Wow.
for corporate clients, we help them provide coaching to their team, because you realize that some teams are just setting up their project management team or even their business analysis team, and they need coaching and help. And most of their managers don't even have experience in these areas. So they need coaches to support this team, help them create like a center of excellence. So we also provide those kind of support. Yeah, for consulting, depending on if you're doing solution selection, you're trying to write a business case, you're trying to do an RFP, or even support technology implementation, we provide those kind of services too.
Wow. So I guess it's good then that we're going to get your website so people could contact you.
Yeah, so you can reach us on www.pollardconsults.com. Yeah, I can share the details with you to put a link in your post when you're
I
ready
will do
to.
that. Okay, thank you very much for coming on to Lessons for Leaders and sharing why it's important to skill stack today and for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I have to go and do a scan myself to figure out what else I need to learn. I know that I'm all in for AI and all, but there's still a whole lot more to life than that. Although it seems like that's the rage at the moment. But thank you very much for coming in. And yes, send those links so we can put it out so people to get a hold of you when they have questions. And I'm sure we're going to be doing more of this in the future, just to talk about how to get people the information they need to lead better lives and have better careers. So thank you very much, and you have yourself a fine evening. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.